Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, I am once again taking a look at one of your designs that you have linked me in the comment section of one of my videos. And if you wish to see something of yours shown on this channel, just leave me the Steam Workshop link somewhere and I'll eventually get around to it. But for today, we're looking at something very large and extremely impressive, the Planetary Explorer Azhdarchidas. I think that's how you say it. I'm not going to say it again because it's probably going to be wrong. But it's this lovely thing right here, a giant ship that's more like the International Space Station with how it's been set up and has got everything you need to survive while out in space. So pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. Oh god, I don't want to spawn in another one, please. Thank you. Let's go find out once more. There it's its name, the Interplanetary Explorer, and then that word right there. This thing is 5,408 large blocks using the decorative block number 1 and 2 DLC packs. It uses no mods, and it is just simply a bloody impressive design. So what we're going to do is have a quick look around the outside, then we're going to go for a tour of the interior, and I think that will be it. So starting at the very front here, let me just rotate myself around. Here we go. So at the very front, we have got ourselves a very small cockpit where we can peer inside at these two little seats. With a programmable block doorway and survival kit in the background, this can also double as a escape pod. Yes, so this thing at the front can be completely disconnected from our main body of the ship in the event of an emergency. But as for its side there, we can see some lovely blockworks, some orange hydrogen tanks, some golden hydrogen thrusters, and some solar panels going around the edge. Let's just get a look around here. There we go. So as we move along past these solar panels and past the orange hydrogen tanks, we can see some stairs going all the way around. Now these stairs and catwalk blocks are used purely for decoration. You're not intended to actually go out and walk across these, but if you were seeking danger, then you could always do so. As we move along the main body, we've got some black and white blocks, a little camera there just in case, and we can see some more orange blocks. This time we've got some rounded blocks and a refinery with modules on top. Above that we can see a bunch of auction farms, and below that again some more auction farms. If we come into the middle there, we'll be able to see a passageway coming all the way across from there, made out of the window blocks and the small steel blocks, which is what's going to link our main body of the station all the way to our cockpit. If I just back out of that and continue along, we can see some more great use of the catwalks, the railings and stairs. We got some orange auction tanks, as well as a small hangar bay for you to get your people in and out on a relatively small transport craft. If we come down a little bit more, we then got a fake radar dish, which could always be replaced by the Frostbite radar dish if you have that DLC pack. This is simply being made out of window blocks with a beacon and some pillars, and it does look fantastic. We just come back up to the side and continue along. This is what we get. We've got a bunch of solar panels here. This is our main array all the way around. Let's just go reverse out a bit. They are absolutely massive, so if you did have meteors turned on, there's a good chance you might lose one of these. They come out a great distance and will keep you powered no matter what. If we come into the middle of these solar panels, we do have a doorway, which is how we're going to get in and out and repair these, as well as some railings there to make sure we can clip ourselves on to make sure we're not going to float away. That is if of course you want to use your imagination like that. We've got some more catwalks that go all the way up and all the way down with a railing on the bottom and top. As we move all the way past this little walkway right here, we can then see some conveyors coming across onto some orange cargo containers, even more catwalks, even more stairs, and a lot of fancy blockwork. Just getting a better look inside here. Let's come all the way down. We do have a smallish walkway which we're not really going to be using. We've got some great use of blocks here with the unfinished ones. We've got an ore detector right there coming all the way around and above this walkway. We then got a gravity generator, even more unfinished blocks coming all the way up to this solar panel. And looking down, it's just bloody fantastic how it's all been done. Now as we come across to this part right here, and of course on the opposite side, we've got two landing pods which we're going to use to disconnect from this ship or station, whatever you want to do with it, and go off to a planet and go exploring. They are simply held on by 3 different ways. Yes, they are very securely held in place, by landing gear, connector, and merge blocks. And they are, from personal experience, bloody hard to get connected back onto the ship, so you do have to kind of ram them in a little bit and hope you don't damage anything. But more on that a bit later. We can see how this is all being connected up with some steel blocks coming around to here. There's our connector, merge blocks. We've got little passageways in here to allow that thruster there to boost away without damaging the station. Very well thought out all over this. Now as for the pods themselves, we've got some great use of the catwalks, railings, thrusters, and everything else going on with this. Very neatly done all the way around. Let's just come up above the pods. There's a doorway to get in and out manually. And if we come all the way down, there we go. So moving on the side of the main ship, even more orange hydrogen tanks. Let's just put that light back on because it's getting harder to see. And we see our walkway is coming all the way around to the back of this ship. So if we come all the way back, this is our main thruster pod where we can see some more orange hydrogen tanks, some large hydrogen thrusters, small hydrogen thrusters, a similar setup with the stairs and the catwalks. And it's all being curved around to look bloody fantastic. It look amazing to launch this from a planet. And as for the back, there we go. We can see how all the catwalks have been set up and the stairs have been set up to look like supports. It does look bloody fantastic how it's all been done. As we come along the top there, we can see the tops of our hydrogen tanks. We can come over to here, we can get a sneaky little look inside our conveyors and how everything's been protected up. Moving across to the front, past the solar panel, we can then peer inside to our little meeting room. We've got an antenna right there. There's our auction farms. And we're now back at the very front. We just come down and underneath here. We now see the bottoms of our refineries with the modules. You see our radar dish and how all the catwalks have been linked all the way across this ship. Past the solar panels, there's our containers, auction tanks, hydrogen tanks, and we're now back at the back once again. It's absolutely incredible how this person has created this ship. And I really recommend that you just download this ship and take a look yourself because it doesn't really show how impressive it is with this video. So now that's all been done, let's now take a quick look on the inside, which is even more impressive that it's got a relatively large interior considering how much of the ship is actually open. So pressing F6, we're now standing over here on top of our front escape pod. We need to find a doorway inside, and the best way to do this is to come all the way to the back so we can work our way to the front. Now somewhere around here there is a doorway for us to get in and out. Where the doorway is quite a difficult thing. I think it was around here. There it is, there's the doorway. So we can come inside the back door, which is going to be used, say, to hook yourself onto there, move across and then do some repair work on the hydrogen tanks and thrusters if you wanted to. But we can now just come back in and plop ourselves down. Turning off the light so you can get a good look at the lighting inside the ship. This is what we get when we first enter the rear. So we've got a long corridor that's going to go deeper into the ship, and we've got another doorway that will lead to the outside, like the one we just came in. And behind us, we have a small access point to put uranium into a nuclear reactor. Moving all the way along this, we then come across to here, where we've got some window blocks to peer outside, like so. Then we can continue walking all the way along to the front, and it does look fantastic. Look outside the windows and see how the structure has all been set up. It's really, really well done. So just walking all the way over to here, we then come to our first little room. I'm just going to close up that door. So in here is a small little armory room, which is going to link across to our two small escape pods. We've got one on our left and one on our right. We've got a little button panel over here, which we can use to then switch our connectors and our docking clamps on and off manually if you want to have someone do it from inside the ship. But we're not going to do that. Let's just come through on one of these, close up the doors behind us. This is our little merge blocks right here. And come across into our little pods, close up those doors. Whoop, where have I gone? So let's go close that door up once again. It's tried to kill me twice already, had to edit them out. Yes, we have a ladder that then leads all the way up, and we're now inside our little pod where we've got a seat to drive this. Looking around here, in fact, let me just turn myself around, plop myself down. There we go, we've got a survival kit, a container there, an access point for the parachute hatch, some lovely railings to make sure you don't go falling down into the little area where we connect up to the main ship. Got a small toilet there just in case you need it, some beds, some armory lockers. Yes, it's a very nice little setup. We can just hop up to here, get into our seat, and we've got some controls. So we can press 1, 2 and 3 and that will completely disconnect us from the station, where we can just float away like so and go off on our merry way. Number 9 is a camera to help us dock, and that is very sensitive, so we need to find our gyroscopes on here and turn them all the way down. That's still very over the top with the gyroscopes there. Let's turn them all the way down to about 10%. That's a bit better. Yes, this is how we're going to fly away to our planets and go off and explore. Could also use them as an emergency escape pod, but I like to think that the front of the ship is the emergency escape pods, and these are simply the planetary ones which you go off and then come back and dock with whenever you're ready. So let's just come out of there, off the side door, and return back to the station, wherever that's gone. How do you lose something so big? There it is. So coming all the way back through. In fact, let's just take a look there. We've got a nice little gold outline there with our connector, 4 merge blocks, and little areas for our feeties to land on. So back through, make sure we're closing that up. We can now drop ourselves down because we've got gravity once again, and we can continue along through the ship. Let's just go and close that. So moving through the main body of the ship, we then look out at our pod just sitting right there. It would be quite cool to see that reversing connecting up. It's kind of like if you saw that SpaceX launch the other day where they launched the Dragon pod and you could see it like slowly docking in towards the International Space Station. That would look quite similar if you had someone trying to do that. Now we can look around there, our massive solar arrays. We come up again to another doorway where we've got a small intersection. Now this one over here on our left and right is going to lead outside once again to allow us to do some maintenance work on our solar panels. Coming all the way back through, closing them up. We can continue along through the ship, through this door right here. So this is another split in the path where we can come up these ladders, and we'll come into our crew quarters where we can have some food, have your meetings. We even have a toilet all the way around here, and a little seat for you to sit on and have a little chat and rest. If you were to walk all the way around to here, we have a small little medical bay featuring a medical bay and a little ion scanner thingamabob. Forgotten what it's called. Coming back through and dropping all the way down. There we go. We can continue along to the front. So in this part right here, we then have some more crew quarters, which is going to be where we're going to sleep. So just walking around here, we then got some beds where we can view out at some oxygen tanks, a little armory, and that's going to be the same for 3 of these little areas. So beds over there, some more beds over there, and looking around over to here, we have something slightly different. Coming down to here is going to lead to our hangar bay, where we can open this up, close this, and we can fit a relatively small transport ship in and out of here. We've got a connector to connect ourselves up to, and a button panel to open everything up, where we can view our lovely ship, and we can see how the light is hitting those solar panels. Jolly good stuff. So yes, this is all opened up. We can get a small fighter in here, small transport ship, depending on what you want, and could be a way of getting new people onto the stations without having to use your 3 little pods that come with this. But let's come all the way back through. In fact, let's close that up and just come up to here and all the way through, all the way around once again and dropping down. Now I've got to figure out which way I came from. I think we go this way, or do we go this way? Let's just have a quick look through there. Okay, yeah, I went the wrong way. We need to go towards the front of the ship, which is through this doorway. But we've once again got a little walkway where we can view our refinery on that side and on that side with its modules. Coming through this window here, we can view our little curved blocks in the orange colour. Then walking all the way towards the front, a double doorway and some more merge blocks, because this is our very, very front, which is how we're going to fly it and of course detach ourselves in an emergency. So there we go. This is what we get. So we've got 2 little armory lockers on our left and right. Coming through here, small living quarters with a kitchen block, a toilet around here, planter, a little chair for you to sit on. You can view outside through this window. Through this door right here, and then come all the way around to our sleeping quarters. So there we go. And all the way around over to here, we can then view up at our air vent, and through this doorway, we're now in our cockpit. We've got a programmable block right here, which is currently not doing anything. So that's there if you want to set something up. I'd recommend using a auto door and airlock script, just to make sure everything closes up behind you, just in case you forget. A survival kit right here so we can respawn on, especially if we've disconnected ourselves. And yes, a very good view out the front. And 2 seats. The seat on the right has nothing going on with it, but the seat on the left is how we're going to fly. So before we disconnect this, because I was absolutely terrible trying to connect this one back up, let's go and do a quick little thruster test, bearing in mind that we have lost one of our little pods right there. So going forwards, and I can't zoom this out anymore, that's how big this ship is, we've got quite a lot of speed. Stopping as well is bloody fantastic for such a large ship. Going left and going right, we are much slower, but still relatively fast. Going down and going up, we are slower than everything else, but still is reasonable overall. And moving my mouse around, we've got a surprising amount of control for such a large ship. Something that could be doubled as a station. Yeah, that is quite a lot of control. It is very, very meaty, but still, surprising amount of control on there. And now what we can do is press number 9, press number 8. Oopsie, I needed to turn that on. That was disconnected. That was quite dangerous of me. But with those 2 disconnected, we can now move away from the station, eject ourselves from the exploding station. Say if it was someone put a bunch of warheads on there, and now we can fly away. And yeah, that's how that works. I will try and connect myself up. It is quite hard because there is no camera on this one, but we can see how that's been connected up right there. So no landing gear on the front, is simply merge blocks and a connector. So that lets me switch myself all the way around, tilt myself like this, remember that the controls have been inverted a little bit, and reverse myself in. I might have damaged the connector, so I'm going to go for a little ram in place. There we go. I've now connected the merge blocks, connected the connector, and now we're back on the ship. That took a little longer than I'm willing to admit, but now we can go back inside the ship, and there we go. So it's a bloody fantastic overall ship, with a lot of detail on there. A lot of time was spent on this ship, and it really does show. So if you wish to download and play around with this Interplanetary Explorer, there'll be a link to it in the description below, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.